Okay, you ready?
I'm ready.
Do I look sexy?
We look gorgeous, we look hot, we look tan, we look pumped, we just hit the gym.
What aren't we?
Yeah.
What's up, Alien Savages? That's how I call my community, Alien Savages. And today, I'm doing an English podcast. I haven't done one in a while because I do them mostly in German, unless I have lovely guests like you. So today, I'm joined by the one and only Vladimir.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited. This is my first podcast ever.
Ever?
Ever, yeah.
Ever,
I mean,
ever,
I've done
ever,
some,
ever?
I've done some
Ever?
radio interviews because I was an actor in Venezuela. So when I was promoting my movie, I was doing some interviews on radio. But podcasts are more fun, and especially when you can do it with friends and just talk about anything and not promoting things, you know.
Well, mine are very serious.
Okay.
So, how are you?
I'm feeling very well. It's been a lovely day. It's been a lovely week. It's been a life-changing week.
You have to talk to the microphone. Like when
Okay.
you look at me, you do this.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the microphone is stuck to
Yeah.
my... Okay. So it's been a very intense and beautiful week. So I feel great. I feel alive. I feel like I'm going back into my power and my energy and my center. And I'm experiencing like a lot of enlightenment and a lot of gaining again my stability, which was kind of rocky in the beginning of the year.
Yeah?
Yes.
Why?
I was, living on this island. It can be a little bit too airy, too flowy, and you get ungrounded. And then, of course, I was chasing highs and chasing love and chasing like comfort and grounding in external sources. And I realized, of course, life took me to a really tough journey this whole year where I realized that I need to go back into my center to find the light again and find the stability and the love and everything, like all the resources. I need to create them inside of me.
And you're doing so great. Like really, I don't know Vladimir for so long. And first, I was judging you a little bit from the sideline. Like not much. I already knew I'm going to like you and he's a great guy. But I was like, oh, he just assuming, he's probably taking a lot of drugs.
Yeah.
And he's probably like really ungrounded. And when I first saw you, when you were new on the island, I usually observe people like, okay, he's new. Oh, wow, his energy is amazing. But if he's partying too much, taking too many drugs, he's gone in like a couple months.
Yeah. I guess it's like when you see people, especially in techno parties, in this world of the partying and stuff, like it's easy to assume that they're most likely taking a lot of drugs, And for me, drugs are like a beautiful medicine and like different frequencies. And luckily, I never was too hooked with anything because I realized, like, for example, I tried weed for the first time when I was 25. So it was very late in life. And then after weed, I tried mushrooms and then LSD and then MDMA and all the party flavors and stuff. And I think none of them hooked me too much because obviously you pay the consequences. You have the hangover and you could really see how it affects your life, really. But then weed was such a good friend, and it was like my daily friend. And like, I didn't really have a hangover, but it was like slowing me down so much. And like, I reached a point where it was like not adding anything good. And it was this whole year I was struggling with like quitting because I was not enjoying it, but I was also not enjoying being sober because I was so anxious to like get high and chasing that because I didn't want to confront the shadows and confront the big Pandora box that was waiting to be open for me to heal, And once I faced it, and I don't know, like we met each other like last week, but your presence in my life has been so life-changing because we met last Friday, we did a photo shoot, and then we spent Saturday together, and on Sunday we cooked arepas, and then we smoked DMT, and this DMT trip was life-changing. So yeah, I'm really like grateful for how everything is aligning so beautifully. And the more I dig deep into myself and my journey and like my own energy, is like things just come naturally. I don't need to chase. I don't need to go outside. It's like nourishing what's within, and then magic just happens.
Wow. So how did you open Pandora's box?
So Pandora's box was it was a topic that it was very deep in my soul. There was like a lot of trauma and shame and pain. And of course, I kind of knew it, I was aware of it a little bit, but it was so scary for me to face it. And my last few years of life, it was like always going to parties and dancing and being on this flow of like having fun, and let's put on our rose colored glasses and pretend that everything's fine. And even if I felt like
Oh my God.
yes,
Yeah. Ah.
yes. So it was fun until it stopped working, and then I had to do the work. So it was like a lot of trauma from my childhood and so much stuff around my sexual identity and my sexual expression and my sex, my all around the root chakra and sexuality and stuff. So it's been a very interesting journey, but I feel like things are clearing up now. And of course, there were so many blockages of energy that I was so frustrated about. And now it makes sense now that I opened the Pandora box and now that I discovered and gave light to all of that darkness.
So how did you open it?
So basically, long story short, I went to India in February for like a visa run, and it was so intense. Like India was like a big slap in the face. A lot of things were happening. And then one of the biggest traumas that I have from childhood, it's with my dad, because he was an alcoholic and he used to be very abusive with me. And it was really difficult. And then he died when I was 9. And then when I was in India, on the same day of his birthday, I got food poison and I had a bike accident and I crashed and then I injured my shoulder. And then it was like I was bleeding on the head and it was very intense. And I saw a lot of messages about like your father. And, you know, it was crazy how everything's so correlated. So, of course, the Pandora box was like open all of this that you need to deal about your father and your childhood. And yes, you were abused and you suffer a lot of violence and a lot of like repression around your sexual expression and your personality. But also that was before. And now you live a different life where you're safe and you're loved and people love you for who you are. So there's no need to hide or be ashamed of, you know. And also the DMT trip is like, it was so simple in a way and so short, but so clarifying that like, there's nothing to be afraid because everything is you, you know, and everything comes from you. So you could just choose whatever.
Wow. So how long did you stay in India?
I was supposed to stay for 3 weeks, but I came back 1 week after because it was too intense. And after the accident, I just wanted to be home with my friends. So yeah, it was just 1 week.
So it was like a dark night of the soul?
Yeah, it was the dark night of the soul. Yeah.
And would you say you like integrated it? Like
I'm still going through it. Yeah, but it feels much better now. It feels like I'm coming out of that tunnel and seeing the light. But there's still some things to like tweak.
Yeah, I can feel your soul really is craving more depth now and doing the actual inner work. Yeah. And that's usually when people become friends with me.
Yeah.
Because that's what I am all about, like depth, like nothing else. And that's why, welcome to my life.
Thank you.
That's why we're talking about it. Yes. No, it's really nice that you, so if you don't know, Vladimir, like I saw you the first time at Aesthetic Dance because you're not for so long on the island, like a year and a half or something.
Yeah. Like since, let's say officially since March of 2025.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I saw you at Pyramid. And I was like, okay, he's new and wow, he has really nice energy. Yeah. But then this was
it's very difficult to not see me because I'm 2 meters tall and I'm dancing like crazy all the time and like shaking my head and doing all these things.
Yeah, if you don't know, he's 2 meters tall. Usually I'm like one of the tallest one or the tallest one and you're like always the tallest one, right?
Yes.
So yeah, you're like really sticking out. And I was like, oh, I like his energy. But also I could feel your intensity and then I was just assuming because I don't know you. I'm like, okay, maybe he's like too much into drugs and because this happens here a lot. The island is like, I call it Disneyland for spirituality.
Yeah, of course.
And then people cannot stop. And then after 2-3 months, the island kicks you off because it's like too out of balance.
Yeah, it's too intense.
But then when I got to know you, I was really surprised that you're such a grounded, balanced individual.
Yeah, I think that's a big surprise for a lot of people because most people only see like this layer of me, you know, like the party guy, the party monster who goes to all these parties. And because I really enjoy this like intense stimulation of so much music and big crowds and like so much energy happening, it really keeps me alive. But I enjoy it. Like most of the times I'm only on weed or like a few psychedelics. It's really rare that I take like synthetic drugs. And when I do, it's with intention and with my friends. And like, I mean, in the past years, it's been like this. But it's funny because a lot of people assume that I'm like taking a lot of drugs, and they ask me like, what do you take? And when I tell them I just smoked a little bit of weed and that's it. And they're like, they don't believe me, or they're like, wow, I want to get this weed because you're like, your energy is crazy.
So where do you get your weed?
So this is, I mean, we live in Copangan, so weed is legal and there's many ways to find, but I think my favorite is from Canchana. They have the best weed on the island. Yeah.
Canchana.
Yeah, Canchana, yes.
Yeah, no, but it's your energy.
Yeah.
Like also with me back then when I was more like this,
Yeah.
people were also thinking I'm on drugs all the
Yeah.
time. But yeah, then I got to know you better and I was like, you're not crazy about drugs.
Yes.
And then also you're having like a grounded job
Yeah.
and like a really matrixy week where you work from Monday to Friday
Yeah.
and have the weekend off.
Yeah.
So what is your job? You want to tell
Yeah,
us?
so I'm a photographer, and now, I mean, I'm an artist, so I love performing. I love acting. I did acting when I was in Venezuela. So anything that includes the body as a form of expression with a lot of intensity, I really love. So all of the acting I did was very like performative with the body, very intense. I did monsters. All of my gigs were playing monsters, and it was very intense physically. So I really, really love to push the body because I also was a swimmer. So it's like I'm used to like give it all, you know. And when I dance, I also love to go and give it all and sweat.
Did you ever play in a big movie, a big monster that we all know?
I mean, it was The Whistler. It was a very successful movie in Venezuela. It's horror. And it was one of the most successful movies created in Venezuela in 2018, I think it was when it was released. And then I lived in Argentina. And
What monster? Were you?
I was the Whistler.
What?
The Whistler. Like,
What's that? That's a monster?
that's a monster.
So you were eating babies?
No. I was chasing like it's kind of crazy because the story of this character, it's kind of like a parallel with my life because he was abused by his dad and he was chained by his dad and tortured by his dad. And then he breaks free. I don't want to spoil it, but he breaks free and he kills his dad. And then he becomes like this. There's a curse. So he becomes like a ghost. And then he starts chasing like this type of alcoholic man or like bad guys. So he's like a justice kind of man.
Oh, wow.
And it's a very famous legend in Venezuela. So they did the movie about him. And they were looking for a tall, skinny guy. And this was like my breakthrough. Like, this is how I discovered that I love acting and performing. You know, it was like the role found me, basically. And then after this, I just kept trying to keep my artist alive. But, you know, the acting world is very competitive. And I come from Venezuela, which is a country it's in crisis. So I didn't have the funds to be able to go on castings and chase this career because I needed to work in Argentina. So in Argentina, I was working on a clothing store and trying to make my way through the artistic world. And then I started doing photography because that was like, I have the control. I can decide when to shoot and who to shoot, you know? So it was like my avenue to keep my artistic vein alive, but it kind of like, it's not that sustainable, you know? And it's like, I also need other type of income. So then I started doing social media, not only for me, but for other people. So I have clients that I manage their accounts, or if they have coaching programs, I help them sell them because I'm also a salesman. I mean, I'm very good
I can imagine.
Yeah. I'm very good with talking and like convincing people. So this is kind of like what I've been doing for the past few years, but now I'm at a point with all of these revelations and this kind of like, the past year and a half here on the island, it was like living in paradise, right? Like I have it all, like I have a steady income and I can do my art and I have my friends and I live in paradise. But then it was like, I don't want to keep waking up every day, like Monday till Friday and follow a schedule. And
so what's your steady income?
So I manage the account for a doctor for autistic kids, and she has a nutritional, like it's like a coaching program through nutrition. She helps autistic kids.
Autistic kids.
Yes.
Oh, that's cool.
Yes. Yeah. So it's a good mission. And
Yeah.
I really like, we have a really good connection, me and her, and we're very aligned. And, you know, I told you earlier this morning that I had a tumor in my brain and it was healed through a natural treatment with plant-based medicine and plant-based diet and meditation and fasting. So when she interviewed me for the job and I told her my life story, she was like, you are the one, because this is basically what I'm selling and you're living proof that this works. So we've been together for 2 years and it's been a lovely relationship. And it's also, it gives me the freedom to travel and do my magic. But now I really want to embody the artist and embody my full potential. And, you know, it's just doing things that give me joy.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it was perfect for you as a grounding balance in your life. That
otherwise, I think I wouldn't have survived the whole Kopangan.
And also because you have that, when you party, you can like with a free mind party because you know you have that. You know, many people who are like me, it's like, what is work? When do I work? And I make money with like all kinds of things, and then I don't, you know. And having that, it adds like such a grounded stability that then you can really party and like have a good life-work balance. But yeah, I feel you. Your soul now, because you have a lot of intensity, and for people like us who have a lot of intensity, it's good to have like a grounded anchor, especially like traveling beyond Kopangan. It's so much. So. It's really good, and also I feel your soul now because you're oh, she messed up the audio. You.
Sorry, we have the little cat here. She wants to join us. You can sit here, baby.
What was I saying? Let's take a deep breath. Fully exhale and inhale. Yeah, I just feel your soul, you know, like you're really gifted. Yes. And also people like you are also can quickly go too crazy.
Yes.
So it's like dangerous.
Yeah. It's dangerous, yeah. And I'm very tempted to like intensity and stupid decisions sometimes. Like when I see the danger, and also when I've been on this environment of like being with other party monsters that they really do take a lot of substances, there's something that I see that I'm like, ooh, this looks so fun and so tempting. But then I also feel like I have these guardians that never allow me to fully go in it, you know, and it's like they push back, they hold back, you know. And
yeah, good.
Yes.
And this is like, for me, I'm also, like we're all junkies, you know, and having these tendencies to overeat on all the forbidden fruits. And this is what I'm also good at, to like, I experienced this amazing life and I'm meant to share it. So I do.
Yes.
And I sit down and I do my podcast and I vlog, and it's like, it's taking a lot of discipline, especially on this island. But this is why I can stay here like for 4 years now consistently. Yeah. It's really meant to be and everything. But it is a big challenge of self-discipline to like, okay, I'm doing a vlog today and I'm really like, I'm really showing up to it, you know?
Yes.
And I'm treating it like my job, like this is what I do today, like intentionally. Or when I go party to like then know, okay, now I'm gonna leave and I don't come also to this and this and this. So yeah, but I feel your soul, you're just really gifted and you wanna like do that full time, you know? You're such a passionate photographer. Like the first time we met was at this shooting.
Yes.
It was Sissy and 2 other women, and you were like, okay, now we all get naked. I'm like, okay, it was all
what
the
an
women.
Introduction, yeah.
And it was just such good energy, and I felt so home and natural with us, and you're just born to like also not just to shoot, but to give people this experience of being in this frequency. This is what you're so good at, like. You're human design. You're like a 5-1 generator, like the same as my ex-girlfriend. Yes. You're also a Scorpio, like my ex-girlfriend. That's why, like, I really like her, but it's not aligned anymore.
Yes.
And I was like missing this frequency in my life.
Yes.
And
the
now
intensity.
Not just that. Like this is like a specific energy. Like she's also good in this spontaneously, often creating something, like knowing to bring certain people together, like. At Naked Beach, your birthday, I saw it in Imara's story, and I was like to Faye, like, what's going on? I had like FOMO, you know, I'm like, what is Naked Beach like this now? And then I could see, it's like I saw it from you. I didn't know it's your birthday. And I was like, wow. Or I asked even Imara, it's like, yeah, it's his birthday. And this is like your superpower, you know, like same with my ex-girlfriend. And anyways, many things I was missing this energy in my life. So I'm happy I'm having you now because
Yes.
we're very aligned.
Yes.
And I'm just like, I just was like imagining on the scooter how like you having like something like a temple here on this island where you can create parties. Like really this, like often the most spiritual thing is having fun.
Yeah,
and this is what
exactly.
you're so good in, like bringing the right people together. And then because you're so heart-based and like authentic in it, it's so much of the spirit is happening. And at Naked Beach, like if people don't know, I just saw stories and it's like you brought everyone in the heart and the joy and the inner kid. People were painting themselves and laughing and creating and playing music and the fire. And it's like, I was like, this is amazing.
Yes.
And this takes like a true leader to initiate that
Yes.
and hold that, because so
Yes.
quickly it like gets too much in the sexual or in the drugs or something.
Yes.
And I really would, I really, this is what I see for you, like a temple where you host like these, what I just said, often the most spiritual thing is having fun. And many go so far into healing or then like into the sexuality, and then holding a container
Yeah.
where it's actually safe to have fun.
Yeah.
And this is where, like, when we shoot it naked with the girls, I'm like, everyone feels good. There's like nothing
Yeah.
weird.
Everybody feels safe. Yeah.
And we're creating amazing pictures, and we're looking at it, and I'm like, this is, and you initiated that, you know, this wouldn't have happened.
Yeah.
So, and this is what I want to see you full time doing.
Yeah, I mean, it's slowly developing, and the more I explore myself, and the more I have these reflections, which is so beautiful also to have people reflecting back on you, and you, because sometimes we don't notice, because for us it's natural, right? So sometimes we need to have this mirror telling us this is really what you're good at and this is your talent.
This is when I come in as a reflector.
This is when you come in as a reflector.
I see you.
This is why we need each other.
Yeah.
Yes. The whole, it's like, it feels whole, right? It feels like a full circle. But
wow, my cat, she really likes you.
yeah, she's just here vibing. She's purring.
She usually takes time to warm up with people.
Yeah.
So. But yeah, you just like, you have really nice energy.
Yeah.
It's,
I think that's one of my biggest things. I make people or animals feel safe, you know, and it's because I feel safe in me, and I feel so like, especially now that I've been experiencing so much grounding and being sober and just really jumping into my practices, I feel so good inside. So it's like it resonates outside.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You already know.
Baby.
Yeah, and you're like this, you know, the super tall guy that could easily be this toxic man and take advantage of this toxic world and have a big company and make money and fuck all the bitches. And you could easily be that.
Yeah.
But you're like me, like a dolphin, like a butterfly, and this
a mermaid. Yeah.
A mermaid, yeah. Because Vladimir is also gay.
Yes.
Right?
I mean,
are you
so
outspoken about it?
Yeah, of course. I came out of the closet like 12 years ago. But for me, I really believe that sexuality is not so fixed, you know. And now, because I used to identify more like as a gay man, right? Because this is what I was told my whole life, like you're a faggot or you're a girl. Or because I was bullied in school, I was always different and more feminine than the other guys. And then I was like, okay, yeah, I take it, you know, I embraced it. But then my exploration in the gay community was very like toxic and not really connecting. And now I see myself more as a being who is attracted to other beautiful beings. So I've had moments of being a bit confused of like, maybe, I don't know, people that are trans. And I'm like, whoa, this energy is very interesting. So I've never approached it. Like so far.
Have you been with a trans?
No, never. Never. I've been only with men.
You're
I've
such
never,
a baby.
Yeah, I'm such a baby.
I've been with trans. I've been with men.
You've experienced
We're just like the
all.
same. Like, or, yeah.
Yeah, no. I still need to... This is also part of my healing process, and like being open for other experiences, especially with sex and stuff.
We're all bisexual.
Yes.
We're all just like having both feminine, masculine in us. Like we're all spirit, and we're coming.
Yeah.
Do you hear this? No.
No.
It's just okay. Interesting. I just got a ringing in my ear. It's usually when I get a ringing, I'm speaking something important. But good that I lost my point now. What?
We're all bisexual.
Yeah, we're all bisexual. We're just many, especially men, are so programmed. They're like, oh, this is gay. I cannot. Yeah, and what I was saying earlier, because I was saying trans are the same as men. So I just have been with transgender, like woman, like man who
transition into
a woman,
transgender woman.
but I don't think I have been with a man, like with a gay man. Like that's what I wanted to say, to just clarify.
Okay.
To just clarify. But I'm open for anything. Like now I'm in a monogamous relationship, which is really healthy for me. But before that, I really explored everything. And oh my God, I was so bisexual.
Yeah.
Like I got penetrated by a trans woman or man, like transgender. She's actually a porn star. She's from Thailand.
Oh wow.
She's like a famous porn star, and she's so nice. Like she's also vegan, and she has like a farm in Chiang Mai, like with lots of animals.
Wow.
And we just had such a connection, and which is, at the time, because this was really my exploration time when I wanted to like try it all. And she was the first that penetrated me, And
so this was your first penetration ever?
Where I got penetrated, where I was the passive part, and it's like it opened like a whole world, that there's so much pleasure once you let go of the shame.
Exactly, and the fear, and the stigma of like this will make me gay, but it's like it's a part of your body that needs to be stimulated because it gives you pleasure.
Has so many nerve endings,
and the prostate.
The prostate for us men. Like many men are missing out on pleasure because they're still holding on to so much programming. Yeah. So I let it all go years ago. Let it all go. And exactly. When I'm just myself most of the time, which I am, but I'm just like, I'm not identifying with anything. I'm just this like gender neutral dolphin
just being,
and then I can see, many, when they don't know me, they think like, I'm this man, and then I quickly overshow a little my butterfly self, my feminine, that they're like, okay, he's like this. That they don't like try to play this man game with me. But it's like with Faye, we're just like little kids, you know. And this is the island. It's so great to like really wash yourself clean, and you also really here had like a breakthrough of coming into, like your natural energy, because you were bullied a lot as a kid, right?
So for me, it's now the first time in my life I would say that I feel safe, and like, because once you feel safe and your nervous system is safe and you don't have any fear or judgment towards yourself, then it's like everything flows so beautifully and you can really just be whatever. So a lot of the things that came up in the Pandora box for me was this kind of revelation that my soul identified mostly as female. And when I was a kid, I remember being like hiding in my room and putting on like high heels and dresses, and like the towels were my long hair, and I'm like, I'm a fabulous woman, and I love to play with that. But of course, my whole family was super conservative, so anytime any of that was discovered, I was punished, I was hit, I was, so there was it was so repressive that I kind of like hid it, and there was not a possibility. And then here is the first time that I started to like play more with genders and be more gender fluid. And now I see it as like, I wouldn't change my physicality. I wouldn't change my body. I wouldn't go through surgery and transition. I'm just a goddess with a dick. I'm just a being that maybe my soul feels feminine, but my physical body is masculine. And I embrace both of them, and I love to have the balance of the two.
Amazing. Like you come here as a big rebel to like break all the stereotypes. Like what I was saying earlier, this like, he looks like a tall guy. He can easily be, but he's the opposite. He's a little girl inside.
Exactly.
And it's like, it like blows people's mind, also when they get to know me better and like, he's a butterfly. And I'm like, so amazing.
You're also such an inspiring being, because I also remember seeing you around the island, but for me it was like, I don't remember making much as assumptions around you. It was just like, you look very familiar, and I'm like, where do I know this guy from? He looks familiar, but our energies never like crossed, like we saw each other, we acknowledged each other, but it was like,
Oh no, we didn't acknowledge each other. I ignored you. I was like,
this guy is taking drugs and going to
parties. No, I just knew like before a connection is like I trust in perfect timing. In the past, I got impatient and I pushed things, and then it was too early and it wasn't so good. But now I really trust in perfect timing. And when I saw you, I'm like, I'm really sure we're gonna have a connection. But in perfect timing, and then it just happened automatically, so synchronistically, and then we over this weekend dropped like really deep into this bond, and now we're really connected, you know? So, and knowing this now for so long, this is only the way I operate.
Yeah.
Like the rest, when you push it or open yourself to people where it's not meant to, it's just messy.
Yeah. It's kind of like you ruined it, right? Like both sides are not ready yet. So when you force it, it's like it kind of like dies off too quickly.
Yeah. But I was also judging you a little bit.
Yes.
I like making assumptions because I was so in a different phase. Like I was also a little like jealous because I was like in this phase still of hermit, and I needed to look at my own shit, and I couldn't open my energy like you. Like it was just not the time, and I looked like, wow. Because I used to be like this all the time, but I was just also really toxic in many ways, and I needed to look at this. So for that, I needed space, and I was like, I want to dance with everyone at Shivari. I want to do this, and then like, it wasn't the timing for it. So I was like a little jealous too.
But now you're part of the gang.
Now I'm part of the gang.
Yeah. No, and for me, like last week when we met at the photo shoot, like. Every time I saw you before and we never interacted, I'm like, he looks like a crazy being. So I always love to surround myself with people that are very free and crazy, you know, that don't give a fuck. But once we started interacting in the photo shoot and you were so spontaneous and so free, like you're just flowing. You don't care what people are going to think, or it's like, it feels like you're just channeling whatever comes. And I love that. It's so refreshing because a lot of people are too much in the mind and too stuck and wanting to pretend. And you're just like, this is me, take it or leave it. And this is one of the reasons why I'm like instantly felt so drawn. And then after the photo shoot, we went to have dinner, and then you're also very deep. And we can talk about many things, like not only deep spiritual stuff, but also sex and also like all types of things. And you remove all the shame around all these topics. So it feels so good, you know? It's like showing your raw helps my human connect with your human. Yes.
Yeah, this is, I'm just an alien, you know? And for many people, it's too much, you know? Like some of my family members, it's just like, this is, because by being like that, for the other person, it opens up everything.
Yeah,
like
of course.
It shows
just to confronting.
Yeah. And many are like, I don't want to confront all of this, so you're way too much.
Yeah. But that's normal. Then there's other sides in the world where your too muchness is fully received and welcomed.
Yeah, that's why we love this island, right?
Yes. It's full of weirdos like us.
Yes. Wow, you're so natural on the podcast.
Thank you.
How do you like it so far?
I love it.
Yeah?
It just feels like another hangout that we're doing, but now we have a microphone stuck to our mouths.
Yo. So yeah, how do you like this temple vision for you?
I love it. I mean, I'm like what I'm trying to create now, because I have a vision and it's not fully developed, but I trust in like the clarity is coming slowly. And now I'm more connected with like, I know that I have the power and the abilities to hold space for people and to that people see the value on that, you know, like it's not just doing photos, you know, or just like hosting. It's like more like an experience that it's enriching. And this is something that a lot of people tell me when they do photo shoots with me, because most of my photo shoots are naked. So I love to shoot the bodies and in nature and the expression and the vulnerability that comes with being naked, but it's never sexualized, and there's never like a sexual energy, or even if it grows, I try to direct it and keep it like, okay, if there's something growing, we do it after, but not in this moment of creation. And most people, every time when they finish a photo shoot, they're like, wow, this is like therapy. I feel so good. Like this, I've never felt this free. And you really like hype me up, and you really like make me feel so confident. And I love that, you know?
This is exactly how I felt.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, this shooting, the camera, it's all like just to give us permission to be naked during sunset. There was no one else, and just really merge with nature, be aesthetic, and be like feeling safe together like children. And the camera and all of the shooting was just like whatever, you know, like I don't even care about the picture so much. I just like to give permission to create this. And this is so needed, like actual safe spaces, especially around sensuality.
And
like,
nudity.
And nudity. Like with my ex, I loved these display parties, but the sexuality for me, it was quickly too much, where it's not you know, like
It can be overwhelming sometimes.
yeah, and many energies enter, and it's like not like I want depth in connection, depth in connection, depth in connection. And then I was actually talking to my friends lately about it, how much we're missing being intimate with each other in sensuality, and then knowing this is the container, like we're not going really sexual, and by knowing that we can go really deep into sensuality. Like when we smoke DMT, we had all hands on each other, and we come out and we cuddle, and something came so home to me that I was like, wow, we need this. And it cannot just be fulfilled by one partner. And I was then thinking, wow, should I start hosting like play parties or whatever again, like, or cuddle puddles, just like where it's with the right people, and then about sensuality, and then everyone can really feel safe, and thus we can go really deep.
Yes.
Because there's like so much depth to it when you're like, okay, we don't go further, but then we need this so much, and then we can really like go really deep there, you know, without this like, oh, if we go further, like no, by knowing that, but it needs someone that can, and by you also being more into men, women especially feel safe around you,
super safe,
which is rare because so many men struggle to integrate their dick, and then it's like for many women it's not safe, and then everything just doesn't feel good.
Yeah, of course.
And that's why so many are drawn to you, because you actually give such a safe experience, what we're all like looking for so deeply. And there's just so much potential where we can create this high season amazing
experiences for all the people who want to come into the island and experience this. Because also for us, it's becoming so normal to be surrounded by people like us that have this lifestyle and are this open, and you know, but for people that don't live here and they come, like this could be life-changing, you know, and this could really help them. Because also I look back and I've never been this evolved version of myself. Like I used to also be in the matrix and be insecure and have all this, like I would never dare to dress the way I do now or have long hair, because even if I came out of the closet and I was like I was accepting that I was a gay man, I still wanted to play the looking straight and being as masculine as I could, because that's what society accepts, you know. And not
you
anymore.
Gotta show me some old pictures.
I gotta show you some old pictures.
So when was the shift? Was it really just when you came here?
It started slowly happening when I became a nomad and I was traveling the world for 2 years. So it's like this type of like giving back, leaving behind this fear of like disappointing my family or what are my parents gonna think, or what, you know. It's like I'm just doing my life. They're not even part of my life anymore that much. And then when I came here and I saw this freedom, and really in Kopangan you could do anything, and I think nobody's gonna judge you, you know. It's like you could dress as you want. So here I started to wear skirts for the first time, and it felt so liberating. It's so comfortable. And then like slowly transitioning into and I remember the first time I went to Pyramid and I went and bought these outfits that for me were outrageous, you know, the first time. And I'm like, I'm not sure if I should wear this. But then I went, and then the reflection I got is like, wow, people love it, you know, because you're also daring to do something that a lot of people would love to do. Yeah. And when you're the first one who breaks it, people feel inspired and people celebrate you for that. Or there's going to be people who will judge you, but those ones is like, why do you want to have them in your life anyways, you know?
Yeah, here something like the pyramid dance is such a overall safe space, because the hippies took over, and there's always someone crazier because there's like a lot of creatures.
Yes.
Like there's also one gay Israeli guy, you probably know him, and he loves to dress up. He's often at the pyramid dance, and he's wearing dresses with like unicorns. Maybe you know him? No?
I don't know.
But he's like he goes all the way, so everyone feels safe to go wherever, because he's like fully like,
exactly,
you know?
Yeah, the more we inspire each other to just do and be the most authentic version of yourself, then it really creates like a ripple effect, where then I feel like we're all gonna reach this state of so much uniqueness and authenticity that we will really start to see like people stepping into their unique power, and that's beautiful.
Amen. So, how was your first DMT trip
Oh
ever.
my God. So you were the master who hosted this ceremony a week ago. It was very intense. I mean, I've done a lot of psychedelics before. I've done like big mushroom trips that took me out of my body, and I was out there with the aliens and saw all these colors, and it was very life-changing. But then this experience tend to be very strong for me. So I try to, with this type of medicine, I try to be open for it, but I know that they will come to me on its own, you know, like this medicine really find me and the moment happened, just like it happened here, you know, we came to have arepas and then in the night, everything fell the line and you just brought the pipe and it felt like such a safe space. And also your house is beautiful and the light. So it was like, I'm like, if I don't do it now, it's like, I'm missing out, you know, it's like, it's the moment. Of course, I was a little bit afraid, but it was like, I remember you were holding the pipe and you told me like, where you will know, you will know when you're tripping. And I inhale. So I have like big lungs because I was a swimmer. So I have very good capacity in my lungs. And I just inhale the first hit. And as soon as I release, I feel like this relaxation in my whole body and I'm like melting. And then I look at you and you're like cartoonish, you know, and it's like chuk, 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 chuk. And then you try to give me the second puff and I'm like, oh, I think I'm cooked, you know, and I just lay down and it was like kind of like everything stopped for a second and I felt like death, but in a beautiful way. And I started seeing like these fractals and these colors and it was like all moving. So for a little bit, I felt like I kind of left the room, but then it's like I felt again, because also I could feel like the hands of our other two friends here. And then when I started to like be in the between of my body and that realm, I kind of like saw these aliens or these entities that were like very colorful and funny, and they were just having fun and like, you know, like taking me like from the back of my head. But then I saw like this very flamboyant entity that was very colorful and had like feather dresses, or I don't know how to explain it, but you know, it's like it's difficult to put it into human words. But then she was like kind of like a witch and she was mean to me and she was like trying to make fun or humiliate me. And then I remember what you said, like, don't be afraid because everything comes from you. So I looked at her in the eyes and I was like, ah, like also making fun of her, you know, and like confronting instead of being afraid. And then it kind of like, she gave up and then she was there, but I had the power. And then I slowly like opened up my eyes and then I saw you guys and it was like, wow, I see all my friends here. It was so beautiful. And still like I could see some visuals, like some fractals around your faces. And then we were just cuddling there and it was like such a safe space, such a beautiful, beautiful trip. Really, thank you. Thank you for hosting that. It was really life-changing. Then on Monday I woke up and I'm like, okay, I'm not smoking weed anymore.
Oh, wow. You see, yes. This is amazing. Yeah. So you're like weed free now for...
Weed free now for almost a week.
Wow.
Yeah, it's the longest I've been sober of weed in Copangan.
And this is the power also of DMT. It's such a intense experience to make actually like life-changing changes.
Yes.
Of like, okay, I'm smoking too much weed, and then it like you have this DMT experience, and then the next day also the DMT afterglow, you're just so glowy, like you're so in your power, like it's so easy to see through fear and then it's easy to see the things that are not good for you and do what's good for you and then stay in this frequency, like rewire your brain and then stay there. Yeah. This is what I love DMT for. And you also smoked so well. You're
yes. I'm a pro smoker.
Yeah, like many that I guided, they don't smoke it so well, so they need a lot of inhales. Yes. And you just had one
Mine
huge.
Was deep. Yeah. I think I had like 5 puffs in one, I think. Because also like you were like focus on the flame and I was just like seeing the flame and just going deep, and then I held it. And then when I released, it was like I already was feeling so much with the release of the air. Wow.
I could feel you. I was like, whoa, he's a good smoker. Yes. And also yes, many people are also guided in they're like really afraid, you know, because you're like really letting go of the control of the ego. Like really it's a breakthrough. It's like an ego death. Yes. And you're like doing it consciously with the ego. So many people are guided, they're just so they want it, but they don't want it. And you really like were open, you know, and this is amazing for your first time, especially because now you know it's how it is. It's amazing. So you know it's easier.
So now it's easier, yeah.
But
but I think that was so important. First, like to have two of my best friends here that I know for a long time, and then you, even though I just have met you at that point for 2 days, I already felt so safe. So it was like such a safe space. And also Cici, your friend, she went first. So seeing her going first and like her experience was like, okay. And also it's such a short trip that it's like, it's not like, you know, if it was like a 10-hour trip, like a very strong mushroom trip, then okay, you need to be really prepared for that. But the DMT trip is so short that it's really, so I think everybody should try it when they're ready, because it really can show you so much in such a short period of time. You just get it.
It will, in this human experience, be forever probably in my top 5 experiences. It's so book a DMT session with me now. No, I only feel excited to do it with friends.
Yes,
this is because I can do it like really well. But I'm only excited to do it with people I love and I have a connection, and then also have the possibility to go on myself, which I did at the end, because it's just such a bonding experience.
Yes.
It's, So this was really special.
Yes, it was.
So let's do it again.
Let's do it again before I leave the island.
Yeah, really. Wow. I love DMT.
Yeah. I mean, I love psychedelics, all type of. Ooh.
Yeah, but what we talked about, it's like, it's having with drugs or with psychedelics, having a healthy relationship is so tough.
Yes.
Like something like the gym, you can go every day.
Yeah.
It's good for you. Something like social media content, I can like do it once per week or even every day. Going to the waterfall, like all these things are really easy, but with psychedelics, I'm like, it's always like, okay, this DMT trip was so good for me, but no, what's the good frequency? Once per month? Every day?
Yeah.
It's like, I find it really, that's why for me, I love DMT the most when it comes organically with friends.
Yes.
Because with friends, it's always good because it's so bonding. And then it's not every day. Because I used to smoke a lot of DMT, like alone as well. But it's just, I was then going more on a frequency of escaping, because, you know, I felt more comfortable than even in the higher states. And then seeing like, no, I'm here to be a human.
Yeah.
So yeah, but I find it's like with, you know, also with weed, you know, it's this thing, wow. But yeah, it's really for me, having the experience and then remembering that frequency and then being that, like choosing that. Like right now, we brought a lot of DMT into the space right now. So just sober is the best, and then recreating it all soberly. And then every now and then, I think, for example, once or twice per month is like a good frequency to have this reminder that you have a good weed trip and like, wow, and then I'm gonna be like this all the time.
Exactly. It's like you remember. For me, it's like, this is why I don't like to satanize drugs or substances, because I believe they're big masters and they're like a different frequency or a different way to experience reality. But you need to be super careful and keep the balance, because that's where you get lost, when it's because it feels so good or it gives you such a different kind of insight that then you're kind of hooked and you're chasing that, you know? So I think they all give you something and they teach you something. And a lot of people who have experienced awakening or that are spiritual, it all came with their drug experience, you know, after a mushroom trip or acid trip or DMT.
Right, would be interesting to have like a study on it. How many people who are like pretty awake?
Yeah.
Like I don't know many people who are like really awake and never had.
Me neither. Like
right?
Most of the people who tell me I've never tried drugs, it's like, yeah, I can see it. It's like you can feel it in the frequency. You know, they're still pretty. There's so many layers of reality that you need to see through drugs, through substances, you know. And of course, it's like I don't like to glorify them or put a crown on them, you know, because they can also be super dangerous. But I think they give you so much and they teach you so much, and then you, in your sober state, in your neutral state, you can take from that, you know. You can really implement. Like for me, it's easy to kind of be in the state of MDMA without MDMA, you know, like my
Yeah.
body remembers how it feels. So when I'm around people I love and part in like these colorful lights, it's like, oh, I
Yeah.
remember how it feels.
I'm so happy I took MDMA. Like I took it for the first time with Brittany, like with my ex-girlfriend. Like I was 30, I think.
Yeah.
Like I never
So
took it
quite
before.
late,
Super
yeah.
late. And now knowing what it feels, I was so in the mind back then. It was crazy. I was
Yes.
so in the mind. And then, oh my God.
So that's crazy. And you lived in Berlin for 10 years and you didn't try MDMA.
I was a good boy, too good.
Yeah.
I was like, hustle culture, fitness,
Okay.
veganism,
Yes.
healthy lifestyle choices.
Super clean.
I'm a vegan fitness influencer,
Yeah.
promoting healthy lifestyle choices, following
Yeah.
your passion, but all natural. And then like I loved mushrooms a lot, going to Austria, mushroom with my friends. But all the synthetic stuff, because back then there weren't really spaces that it was like either psychedelics with my friends, like mushrooms, or MDMA, but party, like this, like raves. And I just, to this point, it's not so much my vibe. Like
yes.
MDMA, I only took it with my ex-girlfriend, actually, like only one-on-one.
Okay. I've never tried it one-on-one. I only tried it at parties. And so it's like a whole different experience.
Okay, maybe
yeah.
I need to try that.
Yeah, and maybe I need to try it one-on-one.
Yeah.
But the thing with Molly for me is like now I'm on a break because I discovered it like around 27. And it was like, it became my company for parties, right? So I had my best friend at the time and we were partying together all the time and going to dance. And she's very similar in the way she dances. So we were like taking over and we were just smoking a little bit of weed and then partying all night. And people would come, give me the drugs that you have. Where did you find? And we were like, we were just smoking weed. And then when she left Argentina, I felt so lonely that I'm like, fuck, where's my company? Like, and then I met this girl who had like a pill and she gave it to me. And that was, so I felt for the first time like the music and like the openness and you want to talk to everybody. And it's so easy to be social. It's like, it becomes like, it comes and this social persona that is like so powerful and so confident comes over, but then you kind of depend on it, And then I started every weekend wanting to do it and not knowing the effects that would have on me. But luckily I realized very quickly that, oh shit, it's fucking up with my serotonin and it's like, it's not working anymore,
Yeah.
And for me, this is also something that I'm very grateful about my type of personality. Although I can become very obsessed and like intense about things, I like things to feel good, So I remember the first MDMA trips. And then when the trips didn't hit like that, I'm like, what's the point of doing MDMA if it's not going to hit like it was, So now I'm on a break.
For how long? When was the last time?
Last time I think was February. So it's been like 3-4 months, but I'm not even like planning to do it. It's like...
Me too. It's this thing that for people who don't know, what I love about psychedelics, like especially something like mushrooms, it's so natural that the next day I feel good. I feel even better.
You have an afterglow.
Yeah.
Yes.
And MDMA is like synthetic, so it blows up your serotonin and you're so full of love, even to a point where it's sometimes overwhelming, where I can feel like my jaw is clenching and I cannot eat. I'm just like, and it's like too much. Even.
Yeah, but then the calm down can be.
And that's the thing that like, no drug without a side effect, and then the next day or days your serotonin is depleted, and for the first time, it's not for me. It wasn't so noticeable, but when you do it more often, it's hitting harder and harder.
Yeah.
And for me, it's just like, if it's really worth it for something, yes, but for the most part, it isn't. And now I just so fell in love with being sober because it's just something that can stay in balance. And like really, it takes more work getting soberly into the heart.
Yeah, of course.
Like when I make love to Faye, really taking time, but then it's the most rewarding and there's no side effect to it.
And it doesn't withdraw from you from anything, because drugs give you so much, but they withdraw from the next day and from... And I think to be able to experience life and be on this grounded state of like, I'm going to enjoy sober, you also need to do a lot of work. You need to be healthy. You need to sleep good, to work out, to do your practices, whatever helps you to like connect with the divine and yourself. And a lot of people don't know any of this. So they get this easy way, it's just like, take this pill that it's colorful and it's your best friend. So this is why a lot of people get lost on that. But the more you grow and the more you experience everything, there's nothing that feels better than being sober, and then eventually having this little escapades of reality. And then it's so good because you do
Yeah.
it with presence and intention and in a safe environment. You know, now you really know how to do it, and then it can be so magical.
Exactly. That's why I'm so grateful I built my 20s, this foundation
Yeah.
of weightlifting with my friends. Like we're going to the
Yes.
gym in the morning, the endorphins. And then we're in the upward spiral.
Yes.
So I want to eat healthy and I eat a smoothie bowl and I feel even better. And then we go naked into Tiergarten and we work on our projects. And then staying in this grounded, balanced upward spiral is the best.
Yes. Yeah, I think you
So,
were
yeah.
very lucky to be on this environment in a city like Berlin, because Berlin is such a crazy city and it's so normal to consume drugs like they were candy, you know? Like when I visited my friends in Berlin 2 years ago, I was shocked by the drug consumption. It was like really insane, the amount of drugs and the variety. It's like they basically take all different types of drugs just to be high all the time. And you know, it's like you can't just do MDMA all night every day, because then you will not feel everything. But if you do one day MDMA and the other one coke and the other one ketamine, or like you do mix, it's like a whole crazy, and it can really take your soul. I've seen so many souls being lost because of this, you know, and it's very sad.
Yeah, I'm feeling really blessed. Really, the only things I've done in Berlin is growing my own magic mushrooms,
Yes.
legal LSD, and then DMT. These are like the only three things. Like MDMA came only later on this island and was really my only synthetic drug. I have never even taken ecstasy or coke. I don't know. It just never came to me. And because I also like, I'm a junkie, you know.
Yes.
Also, like many channelers were like, stay away from too many drugs, stay away from gambling, because
anything that it's too addictive. Yeah.
I love jumping in the void and exploring the edges of everything. But like with DMT, this is where I got the closest to something like almost an addiction or like escaping. And I could feel that, okay, this is too. And DMT is so nice because even it's like you cannot abuse DMT too much. There's like a thing when people smoke too much DMT, the entities tell you they kick you out. This is like a thing. There are many YouTube videos. They really like, they sit you down on a table and be like, hey, you come here every day. You're not allowed in this realm anymore. You're abandoned for now. And then they try to smoke again and they only get a red signal like dun dun. They're like, no matter how much they smoke.
Crazy.
And I like, when I was like taking too much and wasn't listening too much, like I got, for example, like small signs. I smoked a lot on a day where I already was like on LSD, and my whole trip so visually, but everything was about there's nothing. It's empty. Like all the letter mails for the post office, like hundreds, and they were all empty. Or where you hang the keys and it's all empty. Like always the symbol of a shelf and all. Like there's nothing for you.
Yeah.
You have got so much higher chakra like expansion. You need to like, this is enough.
Yes.
But I didn't stop. So then I got put in a loop. I got put in a really dark space where I felt trapped. I thought I might be there for eternity.
Yeah.
And then eventually coming out of that, I didn't touch DMT for over half a year.
It's kind of like it slaps you for you to learn, like you need to stop. You need to stop.
But this is what I love about DMT. It's like you cannot really, in my opinion, abuse it so easily as other drugs.
Yeah, of
where
course.
like cocaine, you can like really abuse.
Yeah. Yeah, and this is the thing that I saw from as an outsider from substances, is like I saw so many people starting with like weed is the gate opener for all drugs. I'm curious, what's your relationship with weed?
I'm kind of also blessed because I would be probably such a stoner.
Yeah.
I never, like I had like a handful of weed trips in my life.
Yes.
It came so late to me that now weed is almost like DMT for me. I travel too far.
Of course, yeah.
And I learned all the flow and everything that's so like what weed is good for, to like come on the body and the presence. I learned it so naturally. Because probably higher self was like, stay away, because I would like smoke it all the time. I don't know. But I also like back then I changed so much. Like I was so German back then. I was so like, I go to the gym really early. I had like 5 Instagram channels. I was hustling my social media. You know, I was too on point.
Yeah, of course.
And
then
then
weed it doesn't align with that.
Yeah. And then when I had this walk-in experience, like this new consciousness coming in when I was in the hospital, I became so alien that DMT called me.
Yeah.
And weed was just like, I don't know. I tried it in here on the island because I was like seeing like rappers like Wiz Khalifa, and it looks so cool how they smoke. And to Brittany, I said, let's smoke weed. And then we smoked weed, and I was like, she really had to like, I was like 2 days on DMT. It felt like I was so out of body. I'm like, how do people sit on the beach
super strong
and smoke weed?
Well, you know, I tried weed for the first time during the pandemic. 2020, I was living in Buenos Aires. It was like complete shutdown. I've never experienced any drugs before. And I was also like a swimmer. So my whole teenage years and early 20s were super healthy and clean and like training. And then during the pandemic, I felt so caged and trapped that I'm like, I need to escape reality. I really don't want to. And I was also in a very dark place. I was very depressed. And I remember I gathered with my 2 friends at the moment. We came to my apartment and we ordered like a pre-roll. And I didn't even know how to smoke because I never smoked cigarettes, you know? So I was like a little baby at 25, just trying to, you know, do this outrageous, you know, edgy type of thing to escape reality. But I didn't know what it would bring me, you know? It was like a lot of people told me, oh, it just helps you to relax and to be in a good mood. Nobody told me like it's a fucking strong psychedelic and it could take you out of your body. It really does. So we were on the table and we were like smoking, and I was like trying to make the smoke go into my lungs. And once I figured it out, I'm like, okay, it's working now, you know? And then it's slowly like, I really felt like from the back of my brain, like my soul was kind of trying to leave, and I was panicking and I was screaming like, I don't want to leave. It was the first time in my life that I was experiencing like this out of body. So it was extremely strong, and I was high for like 10 hours. I remember I threw up, and then even the next day I was like so sensitive. Yeah, so I feel you, you know? It's like when you're not used to weed, it can be so strong. But now after 5 years of using it very occasionally, like when you're a stoner, it basically does nothing to you. It's like a little sprinkle of something for 20 minutes, and then you're like, yeah.
Wow, interesting to hear that your first experience was also like this.
Super strong. I would say it was strong as a mushroom trip, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I also feel excited to heal my relationship to weed, because Faye, she's like smoking weed once or twice per month, being super creative, and then it like reminds her again of her inner creativity, the spark. And I want to have that.
Yeah.
So let's smoke some weed.
Let's smoke some weed.
Yeah.
But now I'm on a break, but I want to be your weed master.
So what's a good atmosphere to smoke weed? Like on a sunset at the beach, or?
I mean, for someone who's still on its first time, like I will tell you the way I enjoyed it. So I had this first trip and during the pandemic, right? And I obviously got super afraid of it. You know, I was like, fuck. And I felt like I was high for 3 days and it was so strong. But then I was like, I kind of liked a little bit of what I saw and what I experienced. So maybe if I smoke just a little bit and see how I react. So then a month later, I went like in my apartment in Buenos Aires, I had like a beautiful light and like good music, and I gathered with my friends. So it's like, it's all about keeping like a safe space, safe bubble, playing your favorite music, and then smoking and seeing how you react. And then it's like, it can be so magical and so beautiful, because it's like a long trip, and it's like, you start to, like, I remember feeling like time dissolves, and then you're listening to your favorite songs, and then you're like, you feel the music differently, and you're like, wow, it's been like 2 hours and we're still listening to the same song. Like it really delays time, and so it can be very magical. And then once you experience that safety and that beauty, you can take it outside, and you can do it like for a sunset, for example. Or then I started enjoying it for like bike rides, like listening to my music.
Yeah, right.
So good.
This was also like on one of the another times I smoked a little bit of weed and also got mostly too much, but many moments like the bike rides, I was like, wow.
Yeah, so good.
I already enjoyed so much, but this is just next level.
Yes, next level.
How can I just do this all the time?
Yes.
I'm feeling high right now.
Yes. I mean, the body remembers really, when you start talking about drugs.
So good that we're going to aesthetic karaoke now.
Yes.
Because, you want to tell them?
Yes, so one of our friends are organizing for the first time on the island ecstatic karaoke. So we're going to be singing hit songs from the 80s, the 90s, the early 2000s. And it's going to be a really fun space. I think here there's so many workshops about ecstatic dance and like all these spiritual things, but being in presence and enjoyment, like you said, just sometimes
the most spiritual thing is to have fun.
Yeah.
And many get on this awakening journey into like so many stories, and then it needs to be serious, and then it needs to be extra spiritual with all, and then like I just want to sing with my friends,
like
a
a
song
little
that
kid.
we love, and then we're like really, and when we're really a little kid, we're on the highest vibe ever.
Exactly.
Like the inner kid is our way home, which is what wash us free and be that again.
Yes.
So that's what we're gonna do now.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where we're gonna wrap it up, because it's also already getting really dark. But this was so beautiful.
I know.
We definitely need to do another one.
Yes, this is the first part only.
The first part only.
Yes.
Yeah, there are many more things. Like, you're a really interesting person.
Thank you. You too. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. And this also opened again my English podcast, because I was so focusing on the German ones, and I just love, mixing it up. And
of course.
This was a really, the longer you don't do something, there's like a little barrier. And then like I did an English vlog recently, and it just broke it through, and people laughed. And I'm like, oh my God, it's like free expression of like sometimes German, sometimes English.
Yes.
So this was an amazing coming back to, wow, I can speak English very well.
Very fluid.
Yeah.
Yes.
And you too, your English is very good.
Thank you.
Like, because you're native in Spanish, right?
Yeah, so I'm from Venezuela, and it's like, I have this, I also feel like I'm very gifted, it's easy for me to learn things when I'm passionate about it, but I'm also very obsessive. Like when I want something, I'm like, I chase it until...
Classical 5-1.
Yes, it's like, so when I was a kid, I always knew, because my environment was so hostile and I was so abused, that I'm like, I need to get out of here, And so my subconscious was like, what's the best way that you have to get out? Okay, learn English, just so when you come out, you have something.
For me too.
So I learned by listening to music, watching movies. So it was all on my own. The school English was terrible. I never.
Yeah, me too.
So it was just like that, and then
same. Like, hey, this opens you the world, the galaxy.
Yeah.
And then listening to Joe Rogan, and then once you get it, you can consume everything in English, and then it's so fast. Anyways.
Yes.
And now we're here being all international and stuff.
Yes.
So yeah, check out Vladimir on Instagram. I would say that's your main platform.
That's my main platform for now, yes.
OnlyFans?
I used to do...
Not yet?
I mean, I don't say never. The thing with OnlyFans, I actually would enjoy, because I really enjoy creating like erotic content.
Yeah.
And but I would do it in a cinematic way, like with good storyline, and like I would love to do something like completely different from
like for me, OnlyFans is like Instagram but uncensored, because naked often just means naked.
Yeah.
And like I showed you my OnlyFans, and back then when I was trying it out, it's mostly just pictures of the waterfall and pictures like I'm naked.
It's
a lot
already
anyways.
what we experience. Yeah.
And then on Instagram you need to like censor it, and there you can just also show aesthetics of the beauty of like the body.
Yes.
So stay tuned for his OnlyFans, maybe.
Maybe.
Because you have a lot of content probably.
Yes.
Because most of your shootings are naked.
I know, and I have to censor most of it, because Instagram has so many rules.
Yeah, such a weird world. Okay, so I link his Instagram down below. Check it out, give him a follow, and comment something nice. Do you want a part 2? Then let us know in the comments down below. Thank you for listening. Until next time.
Bye-bye.
Peace out.